3 seasons, 86 touchdowns, a playoff win over Peyton Manning. That says it all. Give it up for number 12 is in the house. Come on, Andrew Luck is here.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, y'all. Appreciate it. I'll be very brief, and then we're going to have a nice, moderated discussion, I believe, and some questions, so it should be great. I understand my dad was supposed to speak and had to back out, so if you're here to see him, I apologize. I'm the sub. If you're disappointed, I'm sorry. Been a disappointment to my father a couple times. It's no fun. But it's great to be here. Love living in Indianapolis, really do. My girlfriend and I about 3.5 blocks away. My uncle and I, he's in town, we were going to drive over, and she started making fun of us, like, you're going to drive 3 blocks, on a beautiful day. So we've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed downtown. We've enjoyed the state. We've enjoyed the community. We moved here three years ago, about 3 years ago with the draft that was just now. And it's not surprising to hear that this is one of the 15 biggest clubs, Rotary clubs in the world, because the sense of community and volunteering is, I think, everywhere. Yeah. So kudos to y'all. We're also very excited this off-season. Obviously have a lot of work to do. Hopefully we continue to get better on the Colts, try and get to the big one and win it. And we appreciate all the support that y'all have shown the team. I know for me, coming in my rookie year, it was made easy by one, the support of teammates and coaches, but 2, the support of the fans. And I know all the players feel that way. So I appreciate it very much, and I'm looking forward to talking to Dave.
I get to ask him questions all the time, so this is your chance. Write them down while people come around and collecting those, okay? So we'll start out with the elephant in the room. There's a big old elephant in the room. As Jim Gray said last week, to some quarterback who plays for a team that's got the... So how about Deflategate? What can you tell us about Deflategate? Well, let's just, I get paid money to ask questions, so I'm going to earn my money right now. We're with Andrew Luck. Andrew, what's your reaction to Deflategate? Seriously, what do you think about all this?
Dave, I respect your journalistic integrity. I'm going to give you a very boring answer. I don't care about it. It's...
You know what? I think most Colts fans feel that way, right? Move on?
I would think so. Move on and figure out a way to try and beat them.
You're more concerned about that, aren't you? Tell me about your summer so far, and you guys have been going through workouts already. I saw you a couple of weeks ago, and you guys are in the mode. A lot of people don't realize it's May. They think you're off in Hawaii somewhere, but you guys are working.
Yeah, no Hawaii trip right now. We're working. We're in week 4 of the sort of official off-season calendar of the NFL, where coaches are allowed to be on the field. We get about an hour and a half on the field and a couple hours of meetings and lifts. And it's very structured. The new CBA that came out 4 years ago, I think, it really defined a lot of parameters and guidelines for the NFL offseason. So you have to make the most, of the days that you do get to work, and it's encouraging to see there's 88% attendance rate at what is voluntary team activities. So guys are here to try and win a championship, and it's a great time to sort of build rhythm, from my perspective, with the new guys, to get to throw to Andre Johnson every day and see how he comes in and out of cuts, to talk to Frank Gore about protections and how he sees things, and to get the rookies involved. So they're all here, and they're all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and have no idea what's going on. It's
really? Are they funny? Are the rookies funny?
Oh, they're great. A lot of personality. And I remember when I remember walking into the locker room for the first time. It's like going to, switching, 5th grade in the middle of 5th grade, and you have to go to a new school on the other side of the country. You walk in and, will these people like me? Are they going to beat me up? Will they take my lunch? Like, what's the deal here? So they're all, it's fun. It's a great atmosphere, and I do think Coach Pagano creates a great workplace environment, atmosphere, and everybody is certainly welcomed with open arms.
You talked about some of the new weapons you got in the offseason. How excited are you to have Frank Gore, and then you got Andre Johnson. Then we'll talk about the draft. But just what happened in the offseason with a big wide receiver that, wow, another great weapon, and now you've got a really solid running back.
Yeah, no, very, very excited. Andre, we've also, if we watch Colts games, you've seen Andre twice a year for the last 10 years, and he's a stud, and he's a professional, and knows how to play football, and is a quality guy. Quiet, likes to work, gets along with just about everybody. And then Frank, another University of Miami product, that they work hard. He knows what he's doing. Probably one of the tougher players in the NFL, the way he runs, the way he blocks. I know he'll be a great resource for the other running backs and myself, and his experience with protections and game situations and that sort of tough attitude. Very, very lucky to have him. And also Todd Harriman's a great offseason pickup as well on the offensive line. He'll be a great veteran presence for us as well.
All right, let's talk about the draft. And the first round, you guys got another wide receiver, Philip Dorsett. This kid's supposed to be quite a speedster, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, he's the real deal. He is fast. He's athletic. I think, watching those YouTube highlights, he makes plays. Yeah, I watch YouTube highlights of our draft picks as well. It's the way I get to see him, I guess.
Do you really?
Yeah, I want to see who's coming to play together.
I love it.
But he's the real deal, and all the rookies, they come in with a great attitude, and it can be refreshing because they just put their heads down and work and try to make a team. It's uber competitive, and I think that makes us all better football players.
When did you get this drive to win? Were you one of those kids that, at an early age, you were the guy? We're gonna win this kickball game here and now. Was that you?
I've always enjoyed team sports. I really have. And I ran track. We were talking about golf earlier. I'm a terrible golfer, and I get very frustrated and leave after about 6 holes. I believe in the Mark Twain saying, like, golf is a good walk ruined.
That was very well played. That's great.
No, but I've always, I think a lot of motivation from team sports, and then that camaraderie and winning with your teammates I've always found very fun and enjoyable. And I may have gotten a little out of hand when I was younger with board games or other things like that, but I think we're all competitive to a certain degree, and I don't think I burned too many bridges.
With your family?
With family, friends.
Your siblings? Friends?
Yes.
You have to win.
You sort of do, yeah.
Hey, speaking of winning, so Jim Irsay, the owner, the boss man, says he's expecting you to win 2 Super Bowls. No pressure, by the way. What did you think of those comments?
That's since day one walking into the facility at West 56th Street. There's been high expectations for the team. This is maybe when everybody else said 2-14 will be your record. No, it was come in and get to the playoffs and a chance to win a Super Bowl. So I don't think it's any news flash to guys in the locker room. That's why you come to work. It's why we do what we do, I guess. You want to win, and it obviously hasn't happened yet, and we'll keep working to make it happen.
I think we're almost there. You guys agree? We're getting. Let's switch gears and talk about off-season. What does Andrew Luck do on a Saturday? We do these weekly interviews on Channel 13, which we appreciate. We've raised some serious money for Riley Hospital, and they're always like, do something personable with Andrew. So I'm like, hey, well, tell me about what you like to do to relax. So one day he told me a story about how he likes to go clean his condo. So I called back the station and said, yeah, I've got this interview with Andrew talking about cleaning his condo. I'm like, no, seriously? I said, yeah. So you like to...
It's very relaxing.
I said, I'm not making this up, see?
I think I get a little personal... I enjoy vacuuming because you can see the dust picked up and there's tangible evidence of, something being cleaned, and it buys me a lot of brownie points with a girlfriend, so...
I love that. I just hope my wife doesn't hear you say that, because she goes, see, he's 25 years old and he runs this week. Something cool you got to do in the off-season, the USO tour. Of all the things to do in the world to give back, man, I can only imagine how rewarding that was. What was that experience like? You went everywhere, didn't you?
Yes, we did. So I joined a group that included Coach Pagano, Dwayne Allen, one of my college roommates, David DeCastro, plays for the Steelers, and some sort of Hollywood celebrities, singers, songwriters. And we did a USO tour, and we got to go around the world in 6 days and 17 hours. And it was by far the most positive, enriching experience in my life. It really was. And I don't mean to sound sappy or cheesy about it, but it was incredible. We got to go to Ramstein, Germany, Naples, Italy, Bahrain, aircraft carrier in the Persian Gulf, where, a small story there, we go in, it's awesome because you land on an aircraft carrier in a plane and you get hooked on like a catapult and you're like, you know, fascinating. And we go to the mess hall to eat with all the enlisted men and women. I sit down at a table, and it's a gal from Fort Wayne next to me who both her brothers were special forces and actually do some work down here in downtown Indianapolis, and a guy from like Center Grove or something, you know, real close, yeah, right down by Greenwood, right? And it was totally random, you know, small world, and it was really cool. But then we went to Afghanistan, Diego Garcia, South Korea, where I didn't realize we have 30,000 troops in South Korea. A lot of troops up there, yeah. Then Hawaii, then sort of back to the West Coast, and I jetted off, or split off from the trip there. But it was incredible. I think, I think you grow up with the respect for the military. My grandfather served in the Korean War, so I was enthralled by his stories as a kid about being in the Marine Corps. And so I definitely had a respect for the military, but to see it firsthand and to be around these men and women and guys and gals, and it's incredible what they do, and they really keep the world safe. It really is incredible.
I had a feeling that was an amazing trip. Do we have any military men and women in here now? Raise your hand if you're a military. Thank you so much for serving our country. Is that the coolest thing you've ever done? I'm asking these questions I've heard. Is that one of the coolest things?
Absolutely.
Being Mr. NFL football player?
No, that was by far landing in Afghanistan at Bagram Air Force Base, which I think at one point was like the busiest airstrip in the world. Planes going. It was incredible, and talking to these folks who are so proud to be serving our country. It was enriching. It really was.
All right, are you guys writing some questions down? Someone's going to come around and collect those. Susie Harmless. How about a round of applause for this young lady who's done a lot of work to make this all happen?
It's a long question.
Well, I'm gonna look through these while I ask you one. Tell me about the Indy 500. You've become this guy's become like a race fan, and he's asking me questions, and you enjoy it.
Yeah, it was a bummer to see a crash in lap one, turn one in the Grand Prix again. But love the Indy 500. I think it is the coolest event in the world. They call it the greatest spectacle in sports. I went for the first time last year because I missed it my rookie year. My girlfriend, she went and she came back after it, and when I came back into town, she said, you can't miss another one of these. This is way too cool. So all my high school buddies came up last year for it, which I couldn't invite them again this year. I think our reputation around town was tarnished. We were kicked out of a couple establishments, but we had a blast. I think it's
edit that part.
Yeah, exactly. A phenomenal event, and I think it's great how special this month of May is for Indianapolis,
cool?
and really the energy, the buzz, the zeitgeist, as the Germans say, sort of spirit of the times. So it's pretty neat.
What'd you just say? The what? I'm a Hoosier. What'd you just say? What's your favorite service project in Indianapolis? Is a question somebody wants to know about.
Favorite service project? I've really enjoyed working with Riley. They're great over there. It's been a lot of fun. We've done our Change the Play program, which has been a lot of fun. You've been out to our camps, and we've done Lafayette and Bloomington. We're going to get back there this summer. Go up to Fort Wayne. So those have been a lot of fun and quality people there.
Yeah, and you show up at Riley a lot. You enjoy just hanging out with the kids without TV cameras and all. You just go and hang out a little bit, don't you?
You try to, and a lot of guys do. You'd be surprised how much, the folks on the Colts, and I know the Pacers and the Indians and the Fever and the drivers. I know there's a lot that those guys and gals do that maybe aren't quite broadcast over the social media platforms or the news. And I think it's gratifying, again, positive and enriching to sit with a kid maybe who's had a tough time and just get to talk for 20 minutes about whatever it is.
Impact of a lifetime right there. All right, talk about mentoring rookies and how to be successful in the NFL. Do you do some of that with the rookies?
Yeah, rookies. I know my approach when I was a rookie was just sort of keep my eyes and ears open and try to soak as much as I could in like a sponge. I know I watched Reggie Wayne like a hawk. This guy is a 12-year vet at the time, I think. Exactly, big round of applause for him. How do I become a 12-year vet that still performs at an incredibly high level? So watch what he do pre-practice, post-practice, in the meetings. Watch Robert Mathis, and then you see how much guys on the team respect him. Why do they respect him so much? And it's because of hard work. It's because he does the right thing, because of his character. So my advice to them is always, sort of keep your eyes and ears open and ask questions. Try to ask questions. I think it can be intimidating to ask questions of older guys in a locker room, especially when they're 350 pounds. But you'd also be surprised how willing folks are to help you out, in the locker room. And so we try to talk as much as we can and remind them that you're here because of football, and don't lose that as your main focus. You can get in trouble quickly if you do.
Here's one for you from Tyler and Daniel. They want to know if you ever play Madden and play yourself in the game. That's our Tyler and Daniel. Good question. What do you think?
Very good question.
Come on, be honest.
No, I never have. I don't think I've played Madden since I was in 8th grade. It was a big deal in college when the college football came out. They don't do the name. They didn't do the names. I think that game's over now. But they didn't do the names, but they had your number on the thing, and so we'd all go freshman year. Oh, they put us in the game, and dang it, we're not in the game. Hey. Oh,
so you don't play video games?
I have not. I'll play a little FIFA, little soccer video games with my little brother sometimes, but not too much.
Okay, so what was your backup plan if this football thing didn't work out?
Ooh, if football didn't work out. I studied architecture in school. I love studying it. A
lot of architects.
There you go. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. So I'd still have to go back to school for a couple more years and do, I think, the equivalent of 2 years of internship and then pass a test and some other stuff to get licensed. So that's an option. I'd love to be a high school teacher somewhere and coach basketball, football, baseball, soccer, all the good stuff. Yeah, it'd be fun.
What was it like playing for Coach Jim Harbaugh?
Coach Harbaugh.
Indiana question there.
A little Big Ten region. Coach was awesome.
Captain Comeback.
Yes, Captain Comeback. He was great. He was so competitive, and he made, and probably one of the big takeaways I got from him was you got to compete at everything if you truly want to ingrain it in a program, in players, if you want to change a culture. And he had us competing at what seemed like the most trivial things, like first to meeting in the weight room. He'd make up competitions. He'd make you race during practice. You versus him, you'd race. Just a little practice, and everything was a competition. And there, you knew who won and who lost. And it was, and it that iron sharpens iron. It made everybody get better. That the rising tide lifts all ships. I'm a big believer in it, and he was awesome at that, and a lot of fun to play for. A lot of fun.
All right, I think we got time for a couple more here. What player do you hang out with the most, and what do you guys like to do and go?
Ooh, what player do I hang out with the most? What do I like to do? Where do I like to go? Griff Whalen and I were roommates in college at Stanford. I don't know if many folks know that, and he also plays for the Colts. And has. For the last 3 years, we've both been down here together. So I obviously, by default, hang out with him a lot. And he lives downtown, too. And then I hang out with the O-linemen a lot. They're a good group. A little salty, but a really good group of guys. Gosder Cherilus, Khalid Holmes, Muhort, Costanzo, Jonathan Harrison, Hugh Thornton. Bunch of good guys.
They're all down-to-earth guys.
Yeah, very down-to-earth. Very down-to-earth.
Like somebody else I know. What are the 3 best things about living downtown? Are you able to go around town without being bugged when you're with your family and friends?
Yeah, 3 best That's a very good question. 3 best things about being downtown. 1, I think the ability to walk or ride a bike to a lot of things I think is awesome. Enjoy doing that. 2, I think the Mass Ave strip, the Virginia Ave strip, and the culture surrounding there is a lot of fun for us, and it's fun to bring friends. Yeah, we're very proud of it. When people are in town, we have an awesome itinerary set up for them. We know exactly where we're going to go, and we feel, I guess, of residents, a bit of ownership, over the area, which is a lot of fun. And 3rd, the people are awesome. I really think so, and we don't get bugged too much per se. It's fun to talk to folks and shake a hand and have a conversation. But a lot of fun.
How many selfies do you do in one day?
Ooh, selfies in a day.
You do a lot of those? People
I try to avoid the selfies, but we had 4 or 5 today, I think. You guys know who you are.
Hey, thanks so much for being here. We appreciate you being here. Yep.
Thank you, Dave.
Andrew Luck, everybody, thank you.
Appreciate it.
You're more than a quarterback. You're a real civic leader, and we're just so proud to have you here. You may not be aware, Rotary International's primary goal is to eradicate polio, and we've made a donation in your name. It's matched by the Gates Foundation. We've raised over $1 billion, and we've made a donation in your name to the End Polio Now campaign. So. And we've got one more small gift for you. One of our wealthy donors has offered to underwrite this expense, but we're proud to let you know that you are now a member of the Dollar Shave Club.